Now, Nathan is notorious as a bit of a practical joker on set. Have there been some incidents of his pranking that you can speak of?
I've actually never seen him pull a prank on anybody before. I don't doubt that that's something that he does because he's a mischievous fellow. But you can just see it in his eyes. He's up to no good. But my favorite memory of Nathan, and really the one moment that verified for me that he's the coolest guy on earth, happened on the set of Much Ado About Nothing, where it was a scene in which Clark Gregg's character, Reed Diamond, and Frank Kranz, that they were all coming out to confront Nathan Fillion and some other people. Tom Link was out there as well, and so it's this big group scene on the lawn, and we're doing it. As the light is kind of fading away, it's like the last hour and a half of light or so, and the first shot in the sequence was a shot of Clark Gregg kind of bursting through the front gates. The camera's moving backward. He's charging toward it. And the way that we filmed it was using what's called an easy rig. And what it is, it's a vest that you strap on, and it's got a pole coming out of the top. And the pole has a spring-loaded cable that you hook onto the top of the camera, and it suspends the camera, which can be up to 50, 60 pounds. It suspends it in front of you, and it's still heavy, but it's not nearly as heavy and cumbersome as it is when it's on your shoulder. And so there are many applications of this rig. I know on Where the Wild Things Are, in particular, Lance Accord used easy rigs almost on every shot because they wanted a handheld camera, but they needed to get the camera down low at the child's perspective, which is, for an adult, that's about at your waist or your belly button. And so really hard to operate a camera handheld like that. It's easy on your shoulder, but hard low. So I was sort of taking that approach to this shot and walking backwards. The camera's low, just below my hips. And it was really hot. All those days of shooting was really hot, and I'm of course covered in sweat at all times because I'm just working my ass off and just operating the camera, lighting the set. I'm just constantly just like a mess. I looked horrible. so I'm just drenched in sweat, and Joss, because he cares about everyone so much, he needs to use a lot of sunscreen because I don't know if you've noticed, but he's pale. He's got a pale skin. He's not like the Ricardo Montalban that you may think. The man needs sunscreen, and so he's got this like mega sunscreen. Like it's basically just like liquid plastic that you rub all over your face. and so he gives me some because he's like, oh man, you got to put some of this on. We're all gonna get sunburned. And oh thanks. And I never use sunscreen really, so I just grabbed it. Oh, good idea, and I just wipe it all over my face. And since I don't use sunscreen very much, I don't realize that you have to wipe the stuff off your hands, or your hands are going to get rather greasy. And so I have to reiterate that this Joss was trying to save me from getting skin cancer, and so this is entirely my fault. But basically, because my hands were all greased up, when I took the camera, I took the little hook off of the camera, and was bent over, looking down at the camera. Took the hook off, and it slipped through my hands and shot it like 100 miles an hour and just almost took my eye out. This piece of metal just went boom and just smacked me right basically where just above the eyeball, that little orbital bone or whatever that is, and just made a big cut in my eye. It hurt like hell, and I just, everyone saw it happen. There's 12 actors around me, and I'm in a rush. I'm like, okay, good, let's go over there. And then, everyone goes, ooh, because it looked like it hurt, and it did. And I was like, expletive. And I grab my eye, and I was like, oh my God. And I turn around, and I just walk 10 feet away, and I'm just enduring the pain, okay. And then I say, okay, I'm all right. And I turn around and take my hand off my eye, and just like blood just starts shooting out of my head. And, projectile blood spurting from my eye. And, this is not good for anybody, but you specifically don't want your cinematographer to have blood shooting from their eye. It's just not good. Like maybe if you're craft service or if you're like the sound mixer, sure, blood shooting out of your eye, it's not gonna hurt you too bad. You can get through it. But your DP, it's a problem. And so this happens, and everyone just I see it. I know it's bad because everyone's eyes just widen and go, oh. I hear someone yell like, "Oh my God, call the paramedics!" And so but the first responder was not the fire department like they usually are. It was Nathan Fillion. He's in like his full costume, and I mean he grabbed, I don't know what he grabbed. He grabbed like some paper towels or a cloth, or something that was nearby, and he just started going to town on me and just kind of threw the compress on my eye to stop the blood from going everywhere. And he was kind of like, hey, get this and that, get some ice. And he was sort of shouting out orders. And he didn't save my life, but I was like, wow, that's amazing for, an actor to and especially an actor of his stature. I would never ask him to do something like that because in my mind's like, don't get blood on your suit. That's the only one we have. If we get blood on your suit, this movie's in trouble. And so, but his heart is in the right place, and he's like, he doesn't know me, and maybe I have like, alien blood that's like acid that'll run through his hand or something. Like he doesn't know what's going on with me. And so, but he immediately just like, he's a human being and a great one at that. And he kind of first aided me up, and, everyone wanted me to go to the hospital. Everyone's like, we got to get you into the hospital. And I'm like, no, I'm fine. It didn't hit my eye. It's a superficial wound. It looks way worse than it is. And so I think we took the sound mixers carry these belt packs that are they carry the wireless microphone, and it's like a spandex thing that goes around your waist or around your leg and around your arm, wherever they want to put it. And so we grabbed one of those and put some gauze on my eye and wrapped this like sound mixer belt pack thing around my head. And I don't want to act like I'm some Superman, like super macho guy, but in my mind, I'm like, guys, it's fine. We're not going to the hospital. What's going to happen is in 20 minutes, the light is going to go away and the scene is ruined if we don't shoot it now. And on that film, much like Con Man, we don't have the money to go back and redo things, or if we screw something up or if we miss something, it's just not in the movie anymore. Or something else has to be cut out in order to reshoot that. And so in my mind, I'm like, okay, well, the pain is temporary and film is forever. So Nathan gave me the first aid. We're good to go. Let's keep on filming. And I'm like, put the eyepiece on the other eye, because I normally operate out of this eye. So I'm like, put the eyepiece for my left eye, and then we were good to go. And if you watch that scene, the shot that I was basically trying to save was the shot of Reed, Diamond, and Fran Kranz. It was their kind of two shot, and their singles, if there were singles. And they're getting lit with this backlight, which is the sun, and it looks rather nice. I like it. I enjoy it. I assume you do as well. And that's like if I hadn't manned up and just put the patch on and Nathan took care of me and we just pushed forward, that shot would have looked like complete garbage, and the whole scene, it would have looked weird. You would have cut to that shot, oh, it looks shitty, and then cut over here, oh, it looks great. And so, it's those kind of things that happen on movies that I love, because like when you make a movie or make a TV show, the backstory and all that. But the audience never shouldn't, and probably never will know that. But every time I watch that scene, I know in the theater when Nathan was there, we'd kind of meet eyes, and then he kind of like we'd have a little moment of connection, like that was a wacky moment. And so I'm like, man, Nathan Fillion, barely know him at that point, and I'm like, this guy's awesome. He's a true gentleman and a raconteur. And so that's what I haven't seen Nathan pull any pranks, but I have seen him save a young lad's eyes.